On our last episode of childhood trauma, we came to accountability of the things that we went through in our past that brought us to the current stage of the feelings that interacts with our present. So on this episode, we will elaborate a little bit more about the things that we probably missed in the last episode that brought us to this stage for our future and still have us in this loophole and still have us going through this current trauma because we do not have the understanding of the things that may be still hindering us to this day. When a person think of bringing a child into this era, they think of bringing a new beginning to a spiritual enlightenment and endeavor to bring memories, new memories, to bring new dreams, to bring a new plan, a new adventure, a new inspiration to the world. That's the positive aspects of child. The word child. The visions of the physical aspects of a child. New possibilities. New abilities. The future. Ace of Wand. An embryo, a chance. A resort. A vacancy. A shot at life. When you think of a child coming to this earth, you think of good news. A birth, fertility. Someone is getting and coming into the game. The gods, the universe is bringing in grace. When you hear of someone saying that a child is being born, you get this new feeling. You get this awakening, an emotional feeling that creativity has come into place. Love has come into action. And compassion fills your spirit to know that there is a new intuition that is forming and growing and looking for a new opportunity. And this it can come from just the nostalgia, the familiarity of seeing a birth or hearing of a birth. Healing comes into mind. The thought of protection and influence and patience when it comes to a little person. The joy just brightens everything to think of a child's innocence as you give that child that cup. You think of your own inner child. Your head is in the cloud because you become sensitive of the innocence, of the possibilities that this child can become, the curiosities that this child may bring, the stardom, the faithfulness, the possibility of skill development that grows with this child. The new beginnings for this child to jump in with loyalties and plans to be healthy and goal-oriented. The excitement that this child brings. The possibility that this child can bring in cheerfulness, and this child can become as fearless as you have ever come. This child can bring so much energy to someone. Along with that, the child itself could be full of energy, full of curiosity, full of new knowledge, new ways to communicate through this child. That's what childhood traumas are endorsed from. Because on the contrary, all of those things that I've just named become a part of a universe that is in reverse. Something is either stopped. There's no growth in something. There's no lack of direction with the growth of a child. And I'm talking about the stage where the growth begins with the Ace of Wands, with the new beginning, with the embryo. Something is slowed down. A distraction causes this embryo to slow down. Now, this could be with stressed while the parent is pregnant, or it could be abortions, or just lack of self-care while carrying a child. Some people even try to counsel their children and fail before the child is born. This then leads to coldness, being sad and gloomy, because there's no self-love if there's no self-care. There's emptiness, no love, because the child was not stopped. The event was not counseled. And this is usually because there were emotional issues, breakups, emotional loss within relationships that caused a parent not to have that same ability and give that same chance, or want that same chance for that child while they were in Vega. This blocks creativity. The Ace of Cups in reverse. It represses emotions when that parent do not see the same future and development with that child. And that same spark, they don't see that same talent. They don't feel bold with that pregnancy. So it leads to sadness during the pregnancy. And if that child is not stopped, of course, it would only lead to the parent being a sad parent and crying because the development of the child was continued. The Six of Cups in reverse explains a parent not wanting these children. So they let go of the children as the children are young. They do not teach the children. They do not love the children. They do not spend time with the children. They allow the children to be abused. They are stuck in the past. If they are stuck in the past with a person, they are stuck in the past with the children because the children developed. And then there's vulnerability. There's bad news of doubt about the child. That could be doubt with the child's knowledge. It could be doubt with the child's wounds. It could be doubt in believing the child's emotional outcome overall. This leads the child to missing a chance and rebelling against the parent. It causes the child to be foolish and procrastinate, drop out of plans, not want to work, become very unfaithful, not following through. And they underachieve because they were not given the loyalty of being a goal-oriented child, because they did not get this emotion from the parent that was responsible for making sure that their child's growth was continued throughout his life. They see the child as being loud and problematic, spoiled, having tantrums, and being distracted because the child was never taught how to direct their energy. The child gossips, babbles, and is very defensive because they're disappointed that they do not know how to use their creativity and use their energy for healthy planning. And it all starts with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is family. And I go back to that family starting with the Empress and the Emperor. The empress is the mother. The emperor is the father. And this mother and this father starts this hierophant, starts this tradition, starts these rules, directs towards this religion, and the person that you seek for your own advice and knowledge. But when these parents are in reverse, they abuse their position, rejects their own family values, make poor choices themselves, and break down the freedom as they reverse their roles. When a child is in their truth, their confidence, their joy, they will interact with freedom. And that's the sun card upright. But when a child is in the sun card in reverse, they do not know their identity. They don't know which entity they are in because they've never been taught that. They are unhappy, mourns, irresponsible, and is not prone to their own pride and personalities. These children are susceptible to understanding when there are hidden secrets. There's misunderstanding. When something is hidden from a child, there is misunderstanding. And that understanding stems from, again, the Hierophant. It is the parent's responsibility from a child's childhood to make sure that a child has understanding when it comes to the trauma and the things that they're supposed to learn and the things that they're supposed to know and not know. There are children, and I call it childhood trauma, because yesterday I was younger than I was today. So anything in your childhood is yesterday. You can go all the way back years and days and days and days to accompany what you understand as childhood trauma, but your traumas starts from the time that they stop, and that could be today or yesterday. There are men and women, masculine and feminine. Let me give an understanding here that I don't really believe in this man and woman thing, but I do completely believe in masculine and feminine energies. There are some of you that are still out there holding on to secrets that you have with people from your childhood. This stems from family members to childhood friends, or even people that weren't your friends from your childhood. Just remember from previous episodes, I let you all know that that tower moment will come. So you can't depend on someone from your childhood being the one to hold on to your secrets that are still causing you childhood traumas. There are people that are still holding on to sexual relationships that they had with people from their past. I remember children playing mommy and daddy, little boys playing mommy and daddy, little girls playing mommy and daddy. Some people played it with their families. And they're still holding on to that childhood trauma from their past. Still holding on to being a karmic and avoiding their duties as a healer and earth angel because of something that's held on to with memories. Those secrets are inevitable. I've repeated this before. They will come out. Not to make you afraid or anything, because the object of the game is not to be afraid and to be fearless like you once were as a child. Once upon a time, you were innocent. Once upon a time, someone didn't teach you something that you gained knowledge about over your lifetime. The sun card is exposure and truth. As a child, you have this joy, you have this innocence. But with darkness, there is sadness and mourning and being sorry about something. With the moon card, there comes secrets. There comes hidden information. But with that moon card in reverse, those hidden secrets are revealed. Those hidden things comes towards understanding. You still holding on to it. It has you suppressed. It has you angry. You wondering, do they know what you already know? If they don't know, they will. You have to learn how to get out of that stage of being a page. Even if it requires you to be a knight for a short period of time, to go in and out with something, you must stand in your energy of being a king and a queen, being a masculine and or a feminine, which in the end you will learn to be both. You will learn how to stand up for yourself. Go back and question those things from your childhood memories. Those things that bring you nostalgia, things that you are familiar with. And get a understanding with those that did not understand along with you from your past. Go communicate with them. I ask them, do you remember this? Do you remember when we were a child and we did not have understanding? Do you remember this? Do you currently have a understanding of something that we are healing from the past? Do you remember as a child, this used to bring you pleasure? The playfulness, the protection of that secret and that promise, the influences that were behind that in which brought you comfort, the immaturity. Revisit that childhood memory of that in which brought you joy. Because you're moving forward in life. You now see the independence of that motive. If you still home now with your parents, you haven't left that childhood memory yet. You're still stuck in the past. It's something that you need to forgive. Someone was older than you. Someone was above your age and filled your cup with knowledge that you wasn't aware of at that time. They may have been older. You may have been older. As an adult, you feel like I was abused. It's time to let it go. It's time to let the past live on. But until then, you must understand the difference from something that you were stemmed from in your past. The difference in love, the difference in understanding on what a masculine and feminine is. What is a mother? What is a father? What is a man? What is a woman? Was you taught the right thing from who or what you thought was a man and a woman? Or were you misled? My name is Guru Tree, and this is your message for today.